On the news tonight, Senate gives legislative backing to bill seeking 100% increase to police trust fund. Federal government expands training of forest guards to flush criminal elements from the nation forest. A pleasant good evening to you and thank you for joining us. I am Fatima Hassan. Senate has given legislative backing to an executive bill which seeks 100% increase of funding to the Nigerian Police Trust Fund from 0.5% to 1% of the Consolidation Revenue Fund. Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele explained that the bill will repeal and reenact the existing act for enhanced funding, infrastructure development, address welfare deficits, as well as improve welfare and retooling of the police. The bill has been referred to Senate Committee on Police Affairs for further legislative action. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has transmitted to the Senate a list of 15 persons with Salamatu Hussein Sulaiman as chairman and members of the National Human Rights Commission for confirmation. The House of Representatives has approved President Bola Tinubu's $516 million United States loan request to fund key sections of the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway Section 1, Phase 1A and 1B. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Wanko has more on this and other resolutions at Tuesday's plenary. His report.
First sitting of the week, accompanied by the exchange of pleasantries, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas called the House to order, and the day's business took off with an executive communication from the President, seeking approval for a loan facility to fund the construction of the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway. The loan request was accorded expeditious consideration.
For approval of the total sum of $516,333,007 syndicated financing from Deutsche Bank AG and approved recommendations.
The issue of road infrastructure continued with Representative Hussaini Jallo drawing the attention of the Federal Ministry of Works on the need to review the Kaduna Western Bypass and Kaduna Zaria Highway projects.
And include the construction of flyovers and pedestrian bridges at identified high-risk area within Kaduna Eastern Bypass and Zaria Highway.
Members moved to unlock Nigeria's industrial chemical potential as the Research Institute for Chemical Technology Establishment Bill was considered and passed. The bill, sponsored by House Leader Julius Ihobere, is to ensure conversion of indigenous raw materials into valuable chemicals, while the bill for the establishment of a joint doctrine and warfare center, sponsored by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas and Representative Daniel Asama, passed second reading. It seeks to enhance the coordination and effectiveness of military operations of armed forces of Nigeria by integrating the capabilities of its respective services.
For the development of chemical, biological, and man-made fiber technologies for industrial application in Nigeria. It establishes a permanent platform for defense research, simulations, and policy coordination, enhancing national security and sustainability.
The bill for an act to provide for the establishment and functions of the Legislative Security Directorate in the National Assembly and provide for the qualification and condition of service of the Sergeant-at-Arms and other personnel of the Directorate was passed. Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Sports from Yobe State, Mohammed Jajere, defected from the PDP to APC. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, says the newly commissioned laboratory extensions, solar energy system and sequencing facility at the Maduguri National Polio Laboratory will strengthen Nigerians' capacity for disease surveillance, research and emergency preparedness. Speaking during the commissioning at the University of Maduguri Teaching Hospital on Monday, the minister noted that while the facility was originally designed as a polio reference lab, it now has expanded capabilities to handle a wide range of pathogens, including yellow fever and emerging virus. It described the facility as a landmark investment that will serve not only Nigeria but the wider African region, enhancing both regional and global health security. Professor Ali expressed appreciation to the World Health Organization and other partners for their support in expanding the facility and providing solar power to ensure uninterrupted operations. He also commended the leadership of the hospital, particularly the Chief Medical Director, for their dedication and resilience, especially in the face of past challenges such as flooding. The minister encouraged staff and trainees to fully utilize the facility to advance research and capacity development, reaffirming the federal government's commitment to supporting innovation in the health sector and sustaining progress towards polio eradication. As part of its sustained commitment to securing Nigeria and reclaiming forest territories from bandits, the federal government is expanding the training of forest guards across the country. Femi Afariogun takes a look at how the Nigerian Forest Guard Training Institute at the Nigerian Police College, Ila Orogun, Osun State, is equipping more personnel with the skills needed to confront emerging security threats. His report.
Forest guards in Nigeria are already at war with bandits. That is why more guards are being trained by the Nigerian Forest Guard Training Institute under the Office of the National Security Advisor. The latest batch of 965 recruits, including 673 officers from Gombe State, went through tough physical and mental drills to prepare them for the operations in difficult terrains.
All ungoverned spaces, by the grace and power of God, will be taken over by these trainees, so that by the time there is an operation and the operation is completed, they will now cover up the ungoverned spaces. They will now cover the vacuums, so that at least peace will reign in the country. They have been trained in arms handling.
This is what is needed in Nigeria. And with the training of this personnel of this National Forest Guard, is going to be an addition to what is going on.
From the civilian mentality to the regimented training given to us has shaped us to become more security personnel to secure our country.
With the latest passing out, the number of trained forest guards deployed nationwide has risen significantly, reinforcing ongoing security operations across vulnerable areas. Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
We'll be right back after the break. Please stay with us.
Nta Ijebu Ode, your heritage station. Nigeria Television Authority, Nta Ijebu Ode Heritage Station. A station that updates you on latest information, news, people day-to-day activities. We promote Nigeria culture. We bring to you educative program and talk shows for young and old. We give you latest updates from the world of sports. We also bring to you updates from the entertainment world. We are the best among the rest. We are available on StarTimes Channel 103 and UHF 63. Nta Ijebu Ode, your heritage station.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Seasonal climate outlooks by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency is driving a shift in farming practices in Osun State, with farmers increasingly relying on data to guide crop selection, planting windows, and crop maturity cycles for optimal yields in 2026 season. In this report, Femi Afariogun again takes a look at how seasonal focus are shaping farmers' choices across crops and their life cycles in Osun State. His report.
For decades, many farmers relied largely on traditional knowledge to determine planting periods, often resulting in unpredictable yields due to shifting weather patterns. However, the annual season climate prediction by Nigerian Meteorological Agency is gradually changing that narrative, providing scientific guidance on rainfall distribution, dry spells, and flood risk.
In secondary school agricultural science, that you plant early maize around March, then late maize around August. But that is no longer the case. They no longer plant for dates, which has been the usual convention, but they now plant for rain. In addition to that, they now make wise choices in terms of crop selection. Crop selection in that they go with drought-resistant crops and basically crops that have short gestation period.
In the farming communities in Osun State, this information is now influencing what crops farmers cultivate and when they plant them.
I had a similar experience the last 2 years. We cleared the bush did the necessary thing and we planted. I must confess to you, we followed the tradition that March, early April, there will be rain, but we were disappointed. Meaning that we need to look for the weather forecast.
But now, we just look at the weather forecast to know which crop will survive and give better yield. And this process has been helping us to reduce uncertainty in farming process.
As climate patterns continue to evolve, the growing reliance on scientific predictions is positioning farmers in Osun State to make smarter, more resilient choices for the 2026 farming season and beyond. In Oshogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Members of community development associations across Ogun State are being challenged to be united and love one another in the interest of the development of such communities. This piece of advice is coming from stakeholders at the annual general meeting, get-together and first-year anniversary of the new executives. We apologize for the glitch. Members of community development associations across Ogun State are being challenged to be united and love one another in the interest of the development of such communities. This piece of advice is coming from stakeholders at the annual general meeting, get-together and first-year anniversary of the new executives of Bolu Atife Community Development Association, Kalembere Village, Ewekoro Local Government Area of Ogun State. Akin Jimo reports.
Bolu Atife Estate Community Development Association, Kilemberi, Onijogojogo in Ewekoro Local Government Area of Ogun State is one of the fastest growing communities in the Axis. The annual general meeting, get-together and first-year anniversary celebration of the new executives saw members of the community fraternizing and socializing with one another in the spirit of oneness. Stakeholders, including the community state officer, Ogun State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, Omotayo Oladeyi, the Baale of Kelemberi Community, High Chief Ifatunde Akimbode, appealed for unity and love among members to further take Bolu Atife CDA to the next level. The high point of the event was the presentation of awards to some Nigerians for their contributions to the growth of the community. Some of the awardees promised that the honor done on them will spur them to do more for the community.
I love it so much, and I've been seeing what they are doing since. So I need to support the community to join together to move the community all fronts.
Thank them all as in the new executive for building on the foundation. So that's what makes the Bolu Atife State CDA in Bolu Atife in Kelemberi Kija to be progressing.
We need to contribute our own quota, no matter how small it is, to the whole community. I'm very happy, I feel good and I feel great, and it's giving me joy to be doing more.
The chairman of Bolu Atife CDA, Adedayo Samuel Adelegon, was full of appreciation to God for the feats recorded by the new executives in the last 1 year.
The progress we have made within this short time is a clear testament to what we can be achieved when a community stands united in purpose. This administration has recorded several notable achievements within the past year. 1. Printing of official community cards to promote transparency and accountability. Installation of over 50 wooden poles to strengthen our electricity infrastructure. 4. Installation of 4 high tension and 2 low tension concrete poles in strategic location to enhance safety and durability. Extension of electricity connectivity from Revolution Plaza Estate to the end of our community with wires now connected to almost every street.
The event also featured the delivery of health and wellness talks on how best to manage the body system and the teeth for optimum performance. NTA Abeokuta Cooperative Thrift and Credit Society Housing Estate is located within Boluwatife CDA. In Abeokuta, Akim Jimo, NTA News.
The federal government has pledged support for Delborough Hotel, a Nigerian-owned luxury hospitality brand, to expand its presence to Abuja as part of efforts to boost tourism and diversify the economy. Ekemine Williams has more.
Drive to grow tourism and the creative economy is opening up new opportunities for local brands. At a meeting with representatives of the Delborough Hotel and its partners, the Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy, Barrister Hanatu Musa Musawa, said Abuja must develop the right infrastructure to match its status as the nation's capital and an emerging tourism hub.
If we do not provide the infrastructure in the capital city of the giant of Africa, you have not even started a conversation of tourism. Sometime about a year and a half ago, I was in Lagos, and of course, I'm used to the hotels that I usually go to in Lagos, and somebody said to me, why not try the Delborough Hotel? Honestly, for those who have not been there, or those who have been there, it is almost like being teleported to a hotel or to an industry in Dubai.
The minister described the Delborough brand as a strong example of local potential, stressing the need to support indigenous businesses at home before projecting them to the global stage. She noted that this approach aligns with efforts to expand the economy through tourism and the creative sector.
In the conversation that I'm having with Mr. President is to ensure that we take ownership of our own brand, bringing it into the FCT before it goes internationally, and it has gone international. It was important for me to bring both Flutterwave and Delborough here today to show you how committed we are as a government in ensuring that we do this thing together as Nigerians.
And I must tell you that the FCT deserves the Delborough, right? We're very excited and want to thank you, myself and my team, my partners. Would like to say a very big thank you to you and to let you know that we're ready. We're ready and we're happy and we'll make you proud.
For the promoters, the planned expansion into Abuja is expected to create jobs, attract investment, and strengthen the hospitality industry in the Federal Capital Territory. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
And that completes our English news at this hour. On behalf of the news team, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful night rest. Bye.